guys, my name is Alex. It is Saturday, and we're going to do a cute little Balletcore video for makeup. So, starting with the primer. I use a fairly decent amount. Yeah, so I'm gonna let that set, and yeah, and I'm going to, I don't know, I was gonna talk about a topic, but I don't think so, maybe at some point. And then that's kind of dried up, it feels tacky, so start with our color correction. Since I am fair skin vampire, fair skin translucent skin, I have to have a pink color corrector for the under eyes, and I have to have quite a bit of it, and even so it'll still show up underneath, but it won't look like a black eye. So grabbing my RT200 Real Technique 200 brush. None of this is sponsored, by the way. I just have found their brushes to be of good quality, long lasting, and easy to clean and maintain, and you know, pretty cheap to pick up at Ross. And then we're going to do a little bit of concealer where we need it. This is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Full Wear. This is their porcelain shade. And I like how you don't need very much of this concealer. It spreads fairly well. So, and this is kind of a low makeup look. So, a different RT200 brush. I actually have quite a few of these. I got them at Ross for like $3 each, $2 or $3 each when they were selling them individually. So I just grabbed quite a few of them. Alright. And I know the color is pretty pale, and we're going to actually bronze to kind of make that look better. I broke my foundation bottle this morning, and I have not gone to buy new ones, so we're kind of making do with what we've got. So, anyway. We're gonna kind of let that set, do the brows at the same time. This is CoverGirl Clean Fresh Brow Liner. This is in 200 Blonde, and honestly, I may return it and get the 500 Medium Brown that I've had before, simply because my eyebrows and my hair are different colors, and I was matching to my hair. But yeah, which is, my hair is not dyed, by the way, but it's common for dirty blonde, darker blonde, strawberry blonde mixes to have different color eyebrows, like darker sort, I guess. So what I'm doing is kind of filling out. So I have sparse eyebrows towards the end, and I ran out of the other shade, the 500 Medium Brown, that matched my eyebrows perfectly. And I was like, yeah, they always seemed a little bit dramatic. Let's go one shade down. But yeah, I'm fixing to return this and get a different shade. I tried it out for 2 or 3 days to see if I can make it work, and it does not. But yeah, work-wise is pretty good. I'm getting along well with my coworkers, I think. My health has been a little bit of an issue, but not too bad. They're pretty accommodating so far. I like that. My hearing is kind of really accommodated very, very well. I like that. And the people that I work with are really great at helping me explain things out, so that's nice. Most of the pharmacists I work with are very encouraging. So there we go. Yeah, that's definitely two-tone. So yeah, I'm gonna replace that. Still got the box in my drawer here. Alright, next let's do bronzer. We're going to use the RT091 Hazy Finish Powder Brush. I find this works really great for bronzers, like unbelievably well. And we're going to do the Kaida, well actually no, for bronzer itself, we're going to do my favorite, the Ulta Beauty Collection Sculpt and Glow Santorini Sun. This is my favorite bronzer. And we're just going to take a bit, and we're going to start on the cheekbone and blend outwards. And if you start and it looks a little heavy at first, don't worry, you're gonna blend it together. And then along the bottom. And then you're also gonna do under your jaw and your neck so that you don't have like that terrible looking perimeter. And trust the process, y'all. It looks uneven to begin with, but it will all come together, I found. Just a little bit across the nose for a little bit of a tanner look. Okay, now we're going to do our contour. This one we're actually going to get out of the Kaida palette. This is the Best of Kaida Baked palette, all in one. Looks like this. I usually only just use the Cool Tone contour out of this palette. So we're going to grab the RT 084, which is like a flat blunt sort of brush, and we're going to take a fair amount and start under the cheekbone. Now, the trick with makeup placement, where you put the brush first is where it's going to be darkest. So you kind of want to put your brush on your face where you want the most color, and then kind of blend from out. Make the fishbowl, a fishy sort of face. So and then I do my temples. I have a pretty oval, long face. It's not all that symmetrical, so I kind of like to balance everything that I can. Trust the process. Don't look good yet, but it will. Crossing my fingers. Alright, now we're going to do the blush. We're going to go to the Milani Pink Panna Cotta number 16. Their baked blush. And we're going to kind of stamp it across. And kind of up higher as well to kind of blend in with the contour, so it's not just like a pink streak. A little bit on the nose. And then you'll apply pretty bright to start with because you're going to blend it out. And now we're going to do the highlighter. Back to the Santorini Sun palette, the champagne highlighter there. We're going to use the 402 brush, which is their setting brush, and put highlight. And for my fair skin girlies, or girlies who always look tired, or people say they look tired, your best friend is highlight. Like, it just makes you look so much more awake. So much more alert, I found. But if you're textured, like kind of like where that little spot is, avoid putting the highlight directly on that, or if you do, just be aware that it can emphasize texture. So, alright, now for the fun part, we're gonna blend. We're gonna use this brush that I really like to use is 245, which is the Everything Face brush, but I just like to blend with it. It makes everything look a lot better. My face looks quite a bit red on camera for some reason, but in the mirror it looks much better, so I'll probably take a picture like outside or something with it to show you kind of how it is, or figure out what to do with my lighting to make it look better. Maybe I'll change out the light bulbs and put like white light or something in there. The yellow light is not doing me any favors on the camera. Alright, now we're done with that sort of thing. What we're going to do is the eyeshadow. And we're going to use this new palette that I got that I've been experimenting with. It's very pretty. It's the ColourPop Smoke and Roses. Like, it's very well made. It's very heavy palette. Like, this is textured. Like, the lettering is gorgeous. You've got the shade names. And they look extremely bold. So I'm doing a very pink look today, but you kind of want to balance it a little too. You want a little bit of depth. So we're going to start with the Deluxe Crease brush. And I'm going to put Angel Eyes, this pink one, across the crease and kind of mobile area. Now you get a lot of color, so I usually will tap it out on the sink before I put it on. Yeah, it's very vivid. It's very pretty. I love this shade. And it's all really kind of cool tone. There are some warm tones and neutrals, but it's mostly cool, which really works really well for my complexion. So that's kind of going to be my baseline color. What I like to do is a different order than other makeup people. Instead of putting the definition in the middle on the outer corner at the end, I'll do it on like step 2 and blend everything together with it. I find it looks pretty good that way. So this is a really airy, you know, sort of pink summer vibe with like the pink pearls and diamonds look. So I don't want to go too smoky necessarily, but I do want some depth. So I'm trying to decide what should have planned this out better. All right, so what we're actually gonna do is, you know what? Let's go bold. We're gonna do the tonite, which is kind of this, not quite, it's deeper than plum, but it's not quite black. It's like in the middle. And of course, we're going to tap it out. And we're going to use our paddle brush to precisely kind of stamp it. Oh, that actually looks pretty good. I thought it was gonna be really, really dark. I do actually like this. I think this is gonna blend out really, really nice. Side's a little deeper than the other side. I might have to kind of make them a little bit more even. A little bit more pigment to this side. There we go. That's looking pretty good. And then we're going to do kind of like a shimmer for our main color. I've done Heartbreaker before and On the Edge before. It was pretty nice. I think we'll do Wild Side, which is the one that broke when it was being shipped to me, but I was able to save it with some rubbing alcohol. So we're gonna use that shade. That shade looks pretty good. Always tap out the excess, sorry. And we're going to apply it fairly heavily because I do want a bit of a dramatic pinkish flare to it. This is looking a little bit more rosy than I wanted. I wanted like more pink, but we'll see. Maybe get it to look more pink. Okay. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I think it's the lighting in the camera that makes it look a little bit more rose, but in the mirror it looks fairly pink. All right, now for the inner corner, and then we're gonna do the brow bone. So we'll start with the brow bone to kind of highlight it. I have, you know, these shades. I think I'm gonna do this romance shade here. Well, it looks pretty warm though. We'll do Heartbreaker, this kind of silvery pink one, and see how that turns out. Hopefully not too dramatic. Yeah, that's pretty decent. This is gonna look great when it's blended together, I think. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, and then for the inner corner, I like to do, most of the time I like to do kind of a matte, but I think today we may do a little bit of a shimmer. So which would be, let's see, one of these shades. I might do Love Hurts right here, or Every Rose. Faithfully is very pink tone. I'm so bad at decisions, guys, sorry. Actually, let's do Faithfully. We'll do that. I use my finger for the inner corner because I like it very precise, very bold, because I can look bruised underneath, and so I like it very, my inner corner highlight to make me look more awake, and I put it a little bit lower as well, to stay awake, to, you know, look like I'm awake. And we're gonna take the Morphe eye blender brush we were using, and we're just gonna kind of blend it all together really well. And the idea is not to have an obvious gradient. There are zones, but they are all kind of blended together and work together. Yeah. Look in the mirror. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I want to do a little bit of an eyeliner as well. I think it would look good with it. The one that I've been doing for eyeliner is the Whisper shade, this one right here. I'll do Spun Around right now, this brown one right here, for the top lash line. And we're just like pushing it into the lash line. And I smudged it out a little. And then we're just going to do a tiny little baby wing, or continuing there. Yeah, that looks pretty good, I think. And for the bottom lash or something like that, we're just going to smudge in kind of, I think, Look at Me, the shade right here, would do good to smudge into the bottom lashes. Sorry, I didn't realize I was doing that to the mirror over there instead of over here. But we want it kind of very lightly smudged. I think that looks okay. I haven't been wearing mascara as often lately, but I don't know, maybe I'll put some on. It just seems more effort than normal. And then we're gonna do our setting powder, which is the Maybelline Fit Me blue setting powder. This one is in 05 Fair, which is kind of their translucent-ish color, which I like. Use our brush. We don't want a ton, just enough to hold it in place. And a little bit of a trick I do, if the blush after the powder looks a little bit lighter, I'll go in and reapply just a small amount to certain areas. Find the brush that I use. Didn't I? Here we go. And I'll just kind of stamp it like right here so that, you know, the color is still there for some. Okay. And yeah, now all that's left is the lipstick and lip liner, although I think I'll just do lipstick today. I wanted something low maintenance, so I have the MAC, this is 31 Gutsy. I got it at Ross, which is kind of why it's a little bit messed up. But it is a good color for me. So I've already exfoliated my lip, but I'll get off any extra product right there and reapply. The trick to making lipstick last long is a even application, and then you're gonna apply it. Reapply just a little bit. And then your tissue and a tiny bit of setting powder. And I decided against mascara today. It just seems like too much work right now. So, and then we're going to use the setting spray. This is the You Can Be All Day Fixer. I apply a fairly decent sized amount to it. And yeah, that's my Balletcore type makeup tutorial today. I know Balletcore usually has like light pink lipstick, but I don't have any very pretty long lasting pink lipsticks, so I just went for a little bit of a bolder one. And whenever you do bold color lipstick, you want to get a K-tip and clean up the edges if you don't use liner. So there you have it, and I will post it again later. Bye now, y'all.